It's all good. Good. Oh, we're live. We're live. We're live. Hello, everybody. We're live. We're live. We are live. Let me turn things on. We're live like that for a start. That helps. Oh, I can turn my lamp on. Look at that. Couldn't I? Oh, beautiful. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Natasha Makes. Surrounded in loveliness this morning. I'm going twos up on today's show with Jane because... Now, Jane, I'm going to be saying cluck quite a lot today. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Try saying cluck. Quilt
No!
Kit.
No! No! So yes, in case anyone mishears, it is cluck with a cl. Low. I don't know why that name just sprung to mind. Because, Jane,
It's so cute.
I love this. I also love the fact that I ordered this in January and completely forgot that I had ordered the complete collection because it was meant to be here for Easter.
Yeah.
And nobody from Moda has got it before now. It's just arrived. And it's called Spring Chicken. I mean, it was a spring chicken when I ordered it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Less so now. But...
It's a summer hen.
Summer hen. Do you know what, though? This is your all-round... Look at that. That is your summer kitchen, isn't it?
Isn't it?
That's
so
your
cute.
farmyard kitchen, your farmhouse kitchen. I just think that it is the most adorable chicken known to man or beast or chicken kind. And it is just stunning. I mean, look, it's so simple. It's 4 squares. And then these squares have got an appliqued chicken on there, which we will talk you through how to do. And this is in a quilt kit with free Moda instructions. And Jane has cut all of your fabrics for you, not like into the little squares, but
No.
the
What
amounts
you
that you,
require.
what you require. And this is how big it is. So bearing in mind that, yeah, we've got what? Well, sort of that bit, haven't we? We've got a
Yeah.
portion of it there. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
62 by 62, I
Oh,
think.
62 by 62. There we go. That's the sort of huge that we're talking about. 62 by 62. We've put the instructions in for free because we realise that it's a little bit later than it possibly should have been. We've put a whopping great big discount on this for you, but only for today. Only for today. Then the stock, you know, whatever is left after today's shows and whatever. Actually, no, it'll be until tomorrow. Like a full
24 hours.
yeah type thing. And then again, that stock gets taken down and anything that is left gets taken to Hochanda, but I won't be able to bring it at this price to Hochanda because they take their cut. So this discount, you are basically... You're getting an amazing deal because,
Bargain.
well, it is, isn't it? It's all Moda fabric
Absolutely.
apart from the background cream, which is ivory, not cream, but it's a creamy sort of colour.
Yes. I think
But if
the
we're
ivory,
being technical, it's ivory.
yeah. We chose ivory because it went better with the background of the fabric.
We did.
We felt the cream was too yellow.
We did. Yes, we did. I'm just trying to find us now, see where we are, and see if anybody's actually watching and interested in chickens. Cluck. So we've got Naomi with this morning. Everyone, the cushion is gorgeous, very country kitchen. Exactly that. So imagine having that as a complete quilt thrown over your sofa.
I mean, you don't need to make the quilt, do you? You could make several cushions from the kit.
I also thought our tea cosy
Yes.
with just the applique chicken on be amazing. Oh, I have chicken, says Debbie. Perfect for me. I'll catch up in a mo with an order. Hopefully I can still get a lampshade kit. Lampshade kits are still there, don't you worry. Yeah. Yes, lovely fabric, Chloe. I'm not going to repeat what you said. Morning, Sharon. Jane says, how cute. Happy Cluck Day. Oh, you are. Morning, Eds. Hello, what have you got? Black embroidery skeins loaded. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, so you're going to need some black embroidery skeins. So Gemma's like, well, I better load some then, hadn't I? Thanks, Gem.
Can I bring a subtle message?
Yeah, she comes bearing... So Gemma's subtle message is on the bolt innards And I've got various ones now. Just it's our form of recycling, basically. Because I also have to tell you that if you spend over £100 today and put in the code INSPIRA100, what's the BTS bit? What does that stand for?
SJ. At least it's not free PP.
Oh, it's not free PP. No, SJ's been at the codes again.
That must be bent trimmer scissors.
Oh, okay. I did wonder what BTS was.
Bent trimmer scissors.
Bent trimmer scissor? Yeah, that would be it, wouldn't it? Yeah. So basically, if you...
That's my moment of brilliance for the day.
Well done. You've peaked. Go and sit down, Gemma. Have a cup of tea. You've all seen me use these scissors, and they are... Jane's face creeping in. You've all seen me with these scissors. They are my go-to scissors. They are phenomenal. They are also ones that will last you. They're generational. They're going to last a lifetime and beyond, because they can be taken to pieces and properly sharpened, professionally sharpened, as well as sharpening at home, which means that they will last. They are from Inspira, who are, I think they make, is it Hafner Inspira? I think that's the company that it's coming from. And basically these retail at £29 for one pair of scissors. If you spend over 100, I'm going to give you them for free when you put in that code. I know, right?
You're just too generous.
Jane was like, are you sure you want to do this, Natasha? I'm like, yes, because your journey with sewing should start with great haberdashery. Because if you go the cheap route, and I was guilty of that, you know, it's just not going to be as fun. Inspira are bringing out new packaging. Let me tell you the story, because before I sound too generous, let me tell you the story behind it. Inspira are bringing out new packaging. So I was able to get hold of the old packaged scissors. So I can, well, I mean, not this deal, because I'm giving these to you. They certainly weren't given to me. But it meant I managed to get some at a little bit of a discount, which I am passing on to you, which we will come on to in a minute. Because we've had these for a little while, and a lot of you have taken advantage of the discount, but we've sold them in bundles. Today, we're selling every single one individually. So if you've bought some of the bundles, you've realised how great they are and you want to top up, or as Gemma said to me, she had a cuticle pusher. She did nails for years and years and years. That was her favourite, and then couldn't get it again. So if you've got some, you know you like them, whilst they're on this discount, and when they're gone, I will only be able to get them at the full retail price again. That's it. And what's going in the packet, this is the crazy thing, right? What's going in the packet isn't changing. I think they wanted a prettier colour.
Madness.
It's total madness.
Isn't it?
It's total madness. But they're great quality. They're not going to go off. So, yeah. Oh, we're on the big screen today with Claire. That's clocking lovely, says Linda. Morning, Steph. Morning, Rona. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Jacqueline. Oh, love a chuck, she says. Morning, Jan. Morning, Tracy. What was that code, please? Yeah. Couldn't just be like Scissor 100, could it? No. I think we set SJ a challenge to say, you know, could she make her codes funny?
Yeah.
It's just hard. Inspira, 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 that's the make of said scissors. These are what you're going to get for free. Inspira 100 BTS, bent trimmer scissors. BTS, bent trimmer scissors. In fact, should we just get that board and just pop it on the set so people can just read it?
Have it behind.
My beautiful set that I spent ages, Jane.
Beautiful.
And I'm just going to pop it there so that you can all see it. There we go. Can you all read that? Inspira 100 BTS. This is how messages now get passed around, Natasha makes.
Easy to do.
Yeah. Morning, Beverly. Yeah, a bolt from the blue. Finger licking good, says like. No, that. Oh, just joined. What have I missed? You have a clucking good time. That's what. This is what you've missed. So we have got for you the entire quilt kit with free instructions. So there's already a massive saving. This should have been well over, was it about 120 quid? It should have been.
I think it was even a little bit more than that.
And then it's down to £89.99. So we've put a discount on this because it should have been here sooner and it isn't. So, but to be honest, by the time that it takes me to make a quilt, it would be ready for spring next year anyway.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
And then I just love it, and the colours are great. They're just fab. So there's your free instructions, and this is the kit here. I mean, just look at all of these fabrics cut by Jane to perfection. Is that a 10-inch strip?
Yeah, it's a fat 8.
It's a fat 8th, there we
Yeah.
go.
So because it's designed to be used with a layer cake, you can actually get 2 10-inch squares out of a fat 8.
Amazing.
So you've got the potential of 54 10-inch squares out of that bundle. There's
Ooh.
27 fat 8s.
And it's got your binding as well, hasn't
there's
it?
the binding in there.
The binding is this beautiful stripy fabric here. Look at all of those. This is how hard Jane has worked. Honestly, she deserves a cup of tea and a sit down. Aren't they beautiful? We've had these on every work surface.
piled everywhere.
Piled everywhere, which has been fun because I've just not been knocking them off everywhere. Not meaning to, obviously. I love that you've got like little duck feet,
Yeah.
chicken feet rather, and beaks and things all through there. It's just glorious. They're your little chickens. In fact, you've got chickens in many a colour. Let's have a look at the
There's
chicken
5
in many a
colourways.
colour.
They're behind you.
And then if you want to stock up, so look, this is what you're getting, all of these. And this has come in at, well, we've brought it down, including the pattern. The pattern alone should have been something ridiculous, like £15. So we've put that in for free. It's not our pattern, but we've put it in for free. So that's limited, actually, the number that we could do, to be fair. And then if you want this fabric by itself, by the ½ metre, then there is some on the website. If you just search Cluck, careful people, love that, then that's on the website for you there. So you get those, and then you also get, is this your chicken fabric?
Yeah, there's 8 fabrics there. 4
8
grey and
chicken
4
fabrics, all of these. Look,
They're
James.
20 centimetre width of fabric strips. Again, slightly more than you need, but
We'll always be generous with more than you need. That's your binding fabric. Whee! Beautiful. And then, of course, all the cream that you need as well, along with the instructions. So that already is saving, what did we decide? About 30 quid,
£30,
wasn't
yeah.
it? About £30. And then if you buy something for another 20, you then are going to get and use the code, then you'll get £29 worth of scissors for free.
yeah,
So actually today you could save nearly 60 quid
nice.
before you even know it, which is insane, now that I say that out loud. What are we doing, Jane? Rewind! What are we doing? What are we doing?
I think you're bonkers.
Well, I know you do, but also...
Generous, lovely, but
I-
slightly bonkers.
Yeah, it's like bonkers. I'll happily take that. So if you want this in your life in either many a cushion form or
A
60
complete-
what?
62 by 62.
62 by 62, then Jane, do you want to tell everyone how to do it? And then,
Yeah, I
because
can
I
do
realise that I've sort of left you there lurking, I will go and sit over here briefly, because then I'm going to show you how to do all sorts of other things, because we've got the Liberty Tumbler quilt, haven't we?
Yeah,
And we've done it in a rainbow, and we've got, which is what you can see out here.
which we adore.
We do adore. We do adore it. I'm just going to sneak in the corner.
Lovely.
Bear with. Oh,
There
this
we
is
go.
the wobbly chair. If I fall off and you hear us crash, you know what's happened.
Yeah, so this fabric came in. We'd sort of semi-planned it, hadn't we? And then forgot about it.
I'd forgotten I'd bought it. If you hadn't have overheard that conversation, I was about to send all 3 boxes back. I was like, weird, this isn't ours. They've
Didn't order
missent
this.
it. And
Yeah.
Jane was like, no, you did order that. I was like, no, I didn't. Never.
So it's a lovely, simple quilt to make. A combination of applique and patchwork, which is always nice, isn't it? Because you can always, you know, as Natasha was saying, that little applique there can be transferred onto anything. I took a strip of it and put it on some of our toweling
Oh yes,
Made a
the bamboo
towel.
toweling. How awesome is that going to look? Look at this,
Just a strip of
everybody.
it at the bottom.
Oh, there you go. Pop it on the bottom. Pop it. There we go. So we can see. Isn't that beautiful? A half metre of the bamboo. In fact, you've cut a half metre
that's like
in
a fat quarter,
a fat
really.
quarter of the
because
bamboo.
You could
Yeah.
make 2 towels out of that, couldn't you? You'll have bits of fabric left over of your, not enough to do the towel, but you will have some bits left over, so you can, you know, use it for other projects as well. So you can make your
piece
quilts
bits
and
together to do more towels.
make cushions
couldn't
as
you?
well. So yeah, that's what we've done. I just did that last night just to
I love
show
that.
what else you can do with it.
VV much.
So it's made up, the 4 patch is made up of 3.5 inch squares. And I just cut those from the fat 8s. I did a strip of 3.5 and then cut it up into 3.5 inch squares. And you make a 4 patch by sewing 2 squares together, press your seams to the darker side. I chose a light and a dark fabric, literally just put the darks in a pile and the lights in a pile and put them together. And then press the seams to the darker side of the fabric and then place those pairs together. Your seams will go in opposite directions. Seam down there and you'll get a 4 patch. And the applique on the quilt, I use Bondaweb to do the applique. In your instructions you will get the applique sheet in your instructions, which is lovely because it gives you the applique of the chicken. So you've got all the pieces there. You need that for the main body, that sort of semicircular shape, little triangular shape for the beak, and then the comb. Applique, copied those onto Bondaweb and then pressed the Bondaweb onto the wrong side of the fabric for the chicken bodies, and then there was enough in the pinks and some of the yellows to do the beaks and the combs. I decided to do the grey chickens with a yellow beak, but kept it all the same for the combs, but you don't have to, you can use whatever colours you'd like to. And then it's embroidery. I was able to do around the body and the beak on the machine using my blanket stitch, buttonhole stitch. Other people call it different things. I know it as blanket stitch, but some people call it buttonhole stitch. So I was able to do that on the machine, but felt it was a little bit too difficult to get around these curves on the machine. So I did around the chicken there on the comb by hand, and then around the tail feathers, the wing feathers and the feet, back stitch. So it's not difficult, and it gives you a brief instructions about the blanket stitch and back stitch, and also your French knots for the eyes. So you've got 2 little French knots for the eyes.
It's rather gorgeous, isn't it?
It's really cute. And once you've got all of the chickens all embroidered, and then it's just a case of sewing your chicken and your 4 patches into pairs, and then you'll do them in rows. And I think you start on the where's that pattern gone? Can't see it.
Oh, it's under
Underneath.
there.
There it is. Yeah, on this pattern you start with a row starting with a 4 patch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4 patches and 4 chickens, and then the next row is 5 chickens and 4 patches, and you just make alternate rows. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of that row, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of the one starting with a chicken. Put them together, and then you do a border of the cream, and then I don't know if you can see it, but right at the bottom here,
Do you want to go on a close up?
it says "Cluck" on the bottom of the quilt. There you go, a bit of grass just there, and that's embroidered on. And again, on the instructions they give it you ready to put underneath your fabric and trace it through. I used one of the iron-off pens on the ivory fabric. It was fine. Didn't leave a mark. I did test it beforehand.
That's the key, isn't it?
Test it. So it was fine on that. So I used one of those to just mark it out, and then once I'd embroidered, I just put the iron over it on the wrong side, not on the front, because that flattens your stitching down.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
So you don't want to flatten your stitch. So do it on the wrong side. The heat's enough to take your marking off. Yeah, so
Fabulous.
it's a lovely, and the little bit of embroidery is quite nice to do, you know, because it's a small piece. That's quite portable.
Yeah,
Once you've got that bonded on, that's quite a portable piece to take and sit in the garden and do your hand stitching. But if you don't like hand stitching, there's nothing to stop you doing it with your free motion embroidery. You don't have to have it with the blanket stitch.
Do you know what? You could even shorten your stitch length and just do it on a straight stitch.
Yeah.
Couldn't you? You could do it with the black thread, shorten your yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, you don't have to be governed by what they tell you in the pattern. You can make it your own by doing it the way that you feel comfortable. Because I know some people don't enjoy as much hand stitching like what I do.
Like what you
Like
do.
I do.
No, well, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
time thing, isn't it, for some
Yes.
people as well?
Yeah.
And you know, well, maybe there's a bit of arthritis or whatever. You know, there are probably more
Yeah.
excuses we can
So,
even think
that's
of.
right. Yeah.
But it's open to interpretation, and also a blanket stitch works beautifully around the body of the chicken as well.
Yes,
And that
because
can be
you
done by hand or on the machine.
it worked really well on the machine because it's a gentle curve here, and that's a straight line. And again, round the beak, it's more or less straight line. So
And
it
once
was
you've
quite
got
easy
that
to do.
template, you know,
Yeah.
you could put that on the corner of a tea towel. You could put that on a tea cosy with your
Yeah.
leftover scraps or whatever it is, or
Yeah.
maybe buy yourself a half metre of the fabric that is on the website. You know, whatever you fancy doing.
There's lots of different things you can do with it. So yeah, it's a really, I mean, even the fabrics that don't have the chickens on are really sweet. This fabric here is like chicken feet. It's like little V shapes that look like chicken's feet.
Are they feet or beaks?
I thought they were feet, like the track. I don't know, they might be beaks, but they look like the
Because
feet.
they have three.
I know, but it's just artistic interpretation.
No, I'm all for that. All
And
for
then
that.
there's a lovely daisy one as well, the little flowers, daisy fabric there. And then the classic ginghamy effect. So there's some really nice fabrics in there that you'd be quite happy to have in your stash and use for other projects. And actually quite nice for a new baby quilt.
Well, we've got all of that sort of thing covered today, haven't we?
So I think we're,
I think we've got some timeless classics today.
definitely.
Yeah, I heart this one very
Yeah.
much, and I
So-
know that you're keen to make up the whole quilt, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to because it's just such a fun quilt to do.
Bless
So
you.
additional to your kit, you will need your black embroidery thread and some Bonder web.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you, Jane.
You're welcome.
Oh, do you know what I've got to give you? I've got to give you the order sheets
That
to give
helps
to Inga
get
because.
some work done.
So yeah, I need to apologise. We are a little bit behind with orders going out for the simple reason that our printer broke. So these are all your orders
This is how far behind we are.
going off to be done because we don't. Yeah, they all have to be printed off in a certain way that other printers can't do. So we will get on top of it and get them out. So please just bear with us. Inga is working like stink.
Yeah,
isn't
I
she?
am going to.
Jane's
madly
helping
cut
her.
fabric now.
We've got extra people coming in later on in the week to help catch us up. And when the Printerman said to me on the phone, I went down, I did look at the gear at the end. Very brave man, very brave man. And yeah, I think he's been his ways. Oh, you have mic noise. Oh, that's because James just turned their mic off. I have to turn the receiver off as well. There we go. Else it crackles. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Printerman now is in no doubt as to my feelings on the matter. Don't think they'll do it again. Yeah, that's been unlooked for fun, right? Now, what else do we have for you on today's show? So we've got some gorgeous quilt kits, because I know this is it, isn't it? You buy fabric and then what do I do with it? That's always the thing. What do I do with it? So whether it's going to be a cushion, whether it's going to be a quilt, whether it's going to be a tea cozy, whether it's going to be a tea towel, if you wanted to grab some of the Cluck fabric, by the half metre, let me show you these little gems. There they all are. Aren't they gorgeous? So these are all available. This is all by Moda, by the way, just so that you know. or we don't get much Moda. I guess because I kind of think lots of other people do it, so we don't always do it. But actually looking around, not many people have got this at all. It's by Sweetwater, a company called Sweetwater, and I just love their designs. So, plus I love a good chicken. There we go. Now, you might be looking at the cushions, the beautiful array. We have to thank our lovely Susie for bringing those in for us. That is just to give you some ideas about what you can do with the new Liberty that we had in last week. Also, if we're talking Liberty, this is also Liberty. Now, I did this with the Creative Grids tumbler ruler. We'll show you how to use that in just a minute. And that was literally just mishmashed together. So there was no rhyme nor reason as to how those colours went together. It was literally take from each of the piles. I chopped everything up, it all went into a mush, and then I just took and just paired and put them through. So there was no, there wasn't any, that was literally just as it came out. And I've put through that as well some of the, and where did I put them? The Wiltshires, which are like the plains, and I've put them somewhere. I don't know where they've gone. I'll find them. So I'm going to show you how to use the ruler to create that, or if you want to be a bit more ordered with it, how to create something like this. And these are all your Liberty Ditsies. So if you're thinking, well, you know, I'm not quite a random person, then why not do a beautiful rainbow quilt? One of these is going to go with Emily to school to be her nap quilt, because I don't really want to sharing everybody else's, so this is going to be her nap quilt when she goes to school. So I haven't decided if she's going to have random across all of the new oh gosh, what's it called? What's it? Carnaby Street. That's it, Carnaby Street, across the new Carnaby Street range. Who knows, who knows, who knows. So if you want to make this rainbow quilt that I'm going to make, we've done fat quarter bundles. You've got 11 fat quarters of the Liberty Ditsies in here. And they are just so much fun. And there's loads left over actually from making this quilt. So let me show you, well, you can sort of see what they are, can't you? But I will pop them on a close-up for you. Because I know sometimes it's really hard when you look at a collection, and especially when there are 45 different fabrics in this new Liberty collection, and that can be a little bit mind-boggling. But again, some of them were just leaned up against the side, and I was like, they could make a beautiful rainbow if we threw a few more in there. So that is what we did. And so they are your fat quarters, and I'm going to pop those down there. That will make this quilt. What we also have for you today as well, so lots of choice going on for you, and we'll look at the scissors in a minute. We'll get onto the scissors in a minute. If I just move this up a little bit. Last week when we had Helen cooking, the Piggy range, the Piggy Tales playmats came in from Lewis and Irene. Now this is a very, very, very simple quilt. It's just a snowball effectively. Let me show you the pattern for these. We're going to give you the pattern for free. So these, let's put it back to here. This is your Piggy Tales quilt. You can see you've got all your farmyard stuff there, and your tractors around there, and your farmyard around there. And so this here, you put your square sew diagonally through, and then push it back like we've done with so many different things. And you either place it going outwards or inwards like that. So that's exactly the same block, either in or out, which is just fab. And so you get, they're your requirements, which we've done for you. We've sorted all of that for you, and it's just a 2-block quilt. That's it. So there you go. You place your square, in the corner, you stitch across, press back, stitch across, press back. So a super, super easy yet very, very effective quilt. And again, we will pop all of the instructions in there for you. These have come from Lewis and Irene. They are their own instructions, so they're open for anyone. That is option number 1. Then if you wanted to see the other colourway, so it's a slightly lighter colourway, less mud, I'd say. The other's got some good mud colours in there. Then that is the other colourway. Maybe you want to mix up and have, you know, do a massive great big playmat with both kits, and then you'd have the whole shebang in there. But these are the 2 different kits, and they are on the website for you. They've been cut to the amounts that you need. Your little teal piggy wigs. That's your tractor. Oh, do you know what? Every boy that's come in here has gone straight to that one with the tractors. These are your piggy wig tails. Look at those, aren't they fun? There's your farmyard. So those 2 are kind of your main 2 fabrics in there. Lots of fun there. And then you've also got your teal donkeys, teal piggy wig tails. Oh, and these ones, some muddy pigs. You've also got that colourway in there as well. More tractors. Oh, upside down, stuck in the mud, clearly. More farmyard animals. And then also you've got some of your bumbleberries in there as well. That is your kit for the first colourway. Aren't they fab? Dee, 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 dee. Here we go. Colourway number 1 for that one there. All of that. And then this is colourway number 2. You are going to get these guys and the pigtails and green tractors. I was debating whether or not actually to do this one for Emily to take into school. She would also love this one, but she does love the rainbow, so it's a tricky one. Oh, just look. Grey pigs, grey tractors. So there are some repeat of some of the fabrics in both kits. And then you've also got your pigs again. And then those in there as well. They are the right colours for my mum's donkeys, Gert and Daisy. It's all very, very, very strange. There we go. So and there are your instructions for that one. So we have got those for you. Gosh, it's a proper full show again today, isn't it? My word. I've just run out of space to put these things on. I'll put it over there. Right, let's talk scissors, shall we? Because these have been, I was so lucky to get hold of these, and like I say, I wanted to share them with you, and we've brought them at a great price from the first time that we've got them. These are mine, and I heart them very much. You'll have seen me using them time and time and time again. So these are the ones that are on the offer that if you spend £100, you get these retail at £29, and they are, like I say, they will be free for you if you use the code and spend over £100. These are fab as well. So these are the scissors that are my go-to little snips. And I have to say, everyone needs a good pair of little snips. Come on, cat. There we go. You can see how sharp that is. That gets into everything. So again, this is a pair that I honestly wouldn't mind having a few of. Also, look, when they come to you, they even have a little plastic hat on, just because they are so super, super sharp. The other ones that, again, you cannot have too many of, whether you are left or right-handed, these are fantastic. These are the easy snips. And again, these all have a massive discount on and are available for the first time ever individually. And these I use instead of an unpicker a lot because they just get in there. They do just get in there, they're fab. The Duck Builder Plique scissors for dressmaking, absolutely perfect, along with obviously your applique as well. But just if you're ever trimming back a seam ever, especially French seam, stuff like that, that is absolutely perfect for that. If you are doing the block of the month and you need some applique scissors, then maybe look at grabbing yourself some of those. They are really, really useful. Or maybe you're someone who likes to embroider. Just the fact that they've got that bent aspect means that you can get close, you can keep your work on the table and still get in close. I've used those far more than I ever thought I would. But like I say, when these are gone, they are gone. And then these are scissors that are not only super sharp, but super safe as well because they've got that rounded end. I have a fair few pairs of these now kicking about the place. I've got one that is dedicated for Maud's beard trimming. Because, you know, when she's got a soggy lady beard, then Maud's my otter hound, actually, just in case anyone's wondering what the heck I'm talking about. But yeah, sometimes she does need her lady beard trimming. So that they're great for that. They might have been the scissors that Freddie cut his own hair with. Amazing. Awkward. But also they're great. So the kids can use them because obviously they've got their safety on them. But they are also, you know, I don't know, as a kid, the frustration of being given safety scissors that were blunt. Oh, it's just like, oh, come on. It's hard enough learning to use a pair of scissors anyway, but then you give us something that's blunt, it's not going to cut anything anyway. So, yeah, I do let my kids have those. That's fine. Some of you have got some of these now anyway. But if you haven't, the curved embroidery snips are just phenomenal. They are so incredibly sharp, and that little curve at the end just means that you can get in to all those little places. Again, these can be used also for unpicking stitches and stuff like that. It's that precision engineering and everything that is fab. And even down to these, you can see, hang on, let's get these little ones. Yeah. They are just so well made. So this is going to be a set that just lasts a lifetime, and you know will get handed down because I've got my grandmother's scissors, and the only reason that they were able to be passed down is because, like with these ones, they've got this, which means that they can be undone and professionally sharpened when the time is right, when the time is needed, which is just ace. Now, the only other things to show you in terms of this, now these are all heavily, heavily discounted, are the safety stiletto and the seam ripper. Now, they come like this. You've got 3 blades with this, with your seam ripper, and then your safety stiletto comes like that. You unscrew that. Where is mine, actually? And I'll show you mine. This has actually changed my sewing. The seam ripper, no word of a lie, has absolutely, there you go, changed my sewing because it's meant that I can just ease things into the machine and just make sure that I don't miss my seams or miss my points. Whee! Because of this, I can put that by my machine rather than my finger, and I know that we are all safe. Right. Let me find you. Where have I put my seam ripper? Because they are all in here somewhere. Someone said the other day, oh, the blade's really wobbly, it doesn't work. Nah, you had the blade in around the wrong way. Oh, look, I've got 2 pairs of these now. Whoops. I do have a habit of grabbing another pair when I sort of put them in another place. Maybe I put them in my pencil case. That's not my pencil case. Well, it is my pencil case, but it's, where is my, oh, here, like this one. It's right in front of me. Did I put it in here? Wherever I put it? This is the trouble. Half my stuff goes to Hochanda. And then I can't remember what box I put it in where. Do you know what? I'm going to open it. Gemma, take the stock down by 1. I'm going in. Right, when you get these, And I'm going to show you this because we've had lots of people just not be quite sure on how to do this. So here it is. When you get it, you need to take that off. Ooh, come on, camera. Right. Can you see there is a line going diagonally there? Your blade also has that diagonal line. I'm going to go overhead so that you can see, because I'm not going to risk doing this at a funny angle. No, 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 no. So look, you get 3 in here. Please be careful. Please, please, please be careful. It says open here. And then you can just open that out. Right, so here is your blade. It is super sharp, okay? You can see that. We're talking precision here. Now, can you see that has an angle? Oh. I'm going to move those out of the way because it keeps trying to focus on those. Here we go, right. Can you see that that has an angle there that matches that? It has to go in that way. If it goes in, and this is what I've seen people try to put it in that way and then they complain it wobbles. No, 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 no. So unscrew, place your blade on there. Can you see? Right. We put it in the thick part of the gap. Can you see there's a thick bit and then it goes thin? Put it in the thick bit there, then slide it down so that that lies against that diagonal, and then screw it in place. That is it. If you do that, then it will all be held. Have I got that in right? That, can you see? Whoop. That is in, and that is all properly in, all screwed in. You can undo it if you want to take it out, but otherwise that blade, you see, because that is sitting right at the end there, that then just gets tightened so that it's in place, and that isn't going anywhere. That is how you put that blade in. And if yours doesn't look like that and you're telling me it's wobbly, you've got it in the wrong way round. Please turn it around, and please keep the cap, because that is super, super sharp, okay? And that is how it should be stored, all right? And then you've got your spare blades. So that's great. I've got another one of those now, yippee! And like I say, with your safety stiletto, it just protect yourself and it by just turning it around and screwing it in like that, and that's great. And just to have the complete collection is phenomenal, because then it means you've got the lot, everything matches, you know that it's all good quality. They are at an insanely cheap price, insanely cheap, because you know I bought enough stock to share with everyone, and when they're gone, they're gone. We need the space in the warehouse now. We've got some amazing stuff due in and we need the space. So we will pass, you know, yeah, we'll pass as much of that discount on as we possibly can. There they are. Please make use of that. Alrighty, maybe you bought some and then you're just topping up. Let's have a look then at, this is your Liberty. So let's see how this one works. Let's put my paper scissors down there. And the other scissors there. And away we go. So, we are looking at the tumbler. I can't remember. Gemma had someone say, do you have do you have the tumbler block from Creative Grids? Yes, we do. And if so, could you show us how to use it? Well, yeah, my absolute pleasure. My absolute pleasure. I love a little creative grid. So this is exactly the same as that quilt up there. It's been used with exactly the same ruler, but my gosh, don't they look different just by having a different layout and a more ordered structure and format. That's all it is. That's all it is. So this uses 11 fat quarters, but right now I've used just over half a fat quarter, so a fat eighth is effectively all this is used of those. And I'm going to show you how to cut the fabrics and then how to stitch them and then just how I've put this together. And it is super, super easy. Again, it's Creative Grids bringing you fantastic rulers. Now, there are different ways to use this, should you wish, and I can show you that as well if we get a chance. But this is your ruler here. Here we go. So you've got a strip, so you can cut strips, and you'll see that you've got 3 lines there, so that if you want to do multiple strips on this, you can see here, then you can. So if you want to sew 2 strips together, then you can have even more of an effect. We've lovingly called this the flower pot ruler, as opposed to the Madonna ruler, which is more pointy. Yep, I'll leave you to think about that. And you can cut multiple as you go. You can use this to cut your strips if you wish, so it's kind of 2 rulers in one. So that's why it says double strip ruler, because you've got your strip there, so you can then sew your strips together and then line those up through there, line those seams through there, and if you line the seams, then everything else falls into place. So all I'm going to do is line up some of my fabrics. So these are from the Liberty Carnaby collection. These are up on our website as a fat quarter bundle, 11 fat quarters. All I've done is cut 4.5 inch strips. That is all I've done here. So I'll just layer up a few. And what I was doing, and this is where a fat quarter was kind of really useful, because it did sort of work with this size. And I was cutting, so you've cut multiples in one go. Now, if I'm only going to cut one end, let's cut from the selvage end, because I only need one more left. Otherwise, you just cut all the way along. And for me, I'm happy cutting multiples. That doesn't faze me with this ruler. If you are uncomfortable, then just go one at a time. Makes no odds. You're still going to cut, by the time you've cut to the end, you're still going to have cut more than one. I put it on a slant like this because I don't want to be constantly changing. You can put it on a rotating cutting mat, but for me, this worked. You've got your inbuilt non-slip grip because it's Creative Grid. So as soon as that is on there, look, that's not going anywhere. You can see the whites of my knuckles, giving that some welly, and you're absolutely fine. So press down and then cut away. Step the other side so that you are constantly cutting away from yourself, and you'll notice these holes allow that blade to go in. So even when I'm cutting from this side off in this direction, which I don't actually need to do right now, but if I were, then I would just get my blade, my 45mm blade in there, and then cut away from myself. Stand the other side so that I'm cutting away from myself and cut into that circle, because that then means that you've cut to the very end of that. It's precision engineering here, so they know how big that hole needs to be to allow for your blade. So cut there and cut there, but move your body so that you're always cutting away. And I put mine on a slant so that I'm constantly cutting away. And that's those done. we'll save those. And also from this fat quarter bundle, I still have all of this left, by the way. And this is double over. So I've used just over half a fat quarter to make this quilt, which is sizable right now. And on top of that, I've got all of these to use for my EPP. These are my scrap leftovers to use for my EPP. There's a lot there as well. So this is a fab quilt and really very effective. Let's add those in there. And rather lovely. Let's cut ourselves some more, shall we? And I've tried to keep these in order, and then as I've laid them out, I've then sort of stacked up everything in colour order and then sewn the first pile together, then taken the top colour, so taken the red and put it on the bottom of the next pile so that I'm starting and then moving everything along. And then on the next pile, I take the top two and put them to the bottom and move them along. And that's just how I've created that order. So that was pretty simple to do as well. But like I say, with the very first one that I did with this ruler, I just did it randomly and shoved in a one of the Wiltshires, because they're sort of their blenders. So you can see in there the plainer ones are the Wiltshires, but they're in the right colour tone. So do check out the website for the Wiltshires. In fact, just give me a little bit of love if you'd like a fat quarter bundle of the Wiltshires that go with this colourway, because they're absolutely awesome. Maybe we should have done that. But we can make that happen. So again, cutting away, and I've just cut through, how many layers there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 layers there. And it really isn't a bother. It's a combination of good rotary cutter and a fabulous ruler. And that's that done. And then here we are. So this will be my next one to sew on. I've kind of sewed them in pairs and then added them on. So from here, I know this one's going to have to move across to, oh no, it's coming down this way. This one is going to have to go to there. And then everything comes along. So I just kept these in piles and it worked. But if I'm going to have to lay it out for everyone, then this is where you need to see. So then I know I've got this one here and then this one here, and then this, you see, is going to go to the end here, and then that is there, so that carries on through there. And it did, I mean, I had one moment where out of all of this quilt I sewed one together the wrong way around. Quick unstitch and I was done. So let's have a look at how we then sew those together, because you know we're working on diagonals. If you want to prep your fabric and you want to best press it or get your starch spray on there, then do. If you match the seams exactly along there, you might get a little bit of movement up and down. So just offset it ever so slightly with that little pointy bit higher and a little bit there, and that will just give you, can you see? It's just ever so slightly over there. Hang on. And then when I did the quilt behind me that's on the wall, hang on, I've rucked that. I chain stitched. And you can indeed do that. It's no problem. But lay everything out so that you know that you've got everything in order. It's not the end of the world if you match the edges completely. It really isn't. And I'm just taking the next two each time, lining them up, as you can see, and then taking them to the machine. And if I just stop there, you can see that stitch is coming off where that overlap is. Again, if you can't eyeball it, don't worry about it. You don't have to do it. You can just trim everything back a little bit if you want. If you want to measure it by a little bit, then do. But it's not the end of the world. Like I say, because these are obviously on a bias, it's not the end of the world. There's a bit of give in there, so you can sort of manipulate it should you need to. And then I've got one last little one on the end. So let's just add that one on. And so then we've done, Jane did a couple of rounds for me while I did the kids' breakfast this morning, bless her. It's what I love about our team. It's like, yeah, I'm just midway through this, Jane. Could you just help me out and do a few little bits and bobs? Like, yeah, no problem, no problem. And we step in and sort of cover for each other to get the job done. Oh, you know, yesterday we did the clock, by the way. I wanted to show you that with the white hands, if you've got like this is just done with an alcohol marker, you can colour the white hands to any colour that you wanted. So I might pop those on my clock later. But that was just something I forgot to tell you yesterday. Right, so snip, snip, snip. And then again, before I go back stitching everything, I'm going to pop them back in place so that I know that it's easily done. So that I know that I'm getting everything in the right order. Otherwise, my little head just can't cope. So again, I'm going to go right sides together there. And stitching down. And you can see that just by offsetting just that little bit, it makes that line perfectly straight. Here we go. So let's go and do that now. And again, we can chain piece these, and that gets the job done. And if you want to mark when you're doing these, where that crossover point is going, then all you need to do is mark across here, 1/4 of an inch, and then line it up so that that V will meet at that mark. And that's all you need to do. So that's where my first stitch is going to go in, where those two fabrics separate or meet, depending on which way around you look at it. So you can see it's coming off where they either meet or separate, depending on which way around you look at it. So last one, and we're done on this row. And all I'd say is just try not to pull it too much, because if you haven't sprayed it, you know, then there is a little bit of give just because those are cut at an angle. There we go. So that's those cut. And we can see already We are looking good, looking good, looking good. I just can't believe how much there is left over from here, which is great. Is there anybody that has got any questions? Any questions? Not looking like it, so that's all good. We can carry on. Right, so. We now need to look at pressing. These have been pressed in that direction, so those have been pressed in that direction, so these need to be pressed in this direction. And away they go. Just wait for my iron to heat up. Hey up, here comes Gemma.
No, Myra arrived late.
Myra arrived late. Myra, where have you been? Where have you been?
I've not missed any goodies.
Not missed any goodies? Or she just arrived?
Not out.
Myra, what have you missed? You've missed the cluck quilt. I've had to be so careful. I've said that all morning. I did say to you, didn't I, yesterday, I'm not swearing this week. Not swearing. It's not very ladylike. It's not very nice. I'm not going to do it anymore.
I did it for you.
And then the printer broke. And I was like, oh. Yeah. Oh, for cluck's sake. That's what we'll say. Oh. So yeah, you've missed the fact that there's about 30 quid off that?
It took me a long time.
Yeah. So there's about £30 off the Moda cluck quilt. There is also, if you spend £100 and put in SJ's insanely long code,
Which I put in the comments.
which is in the comments, and it's on the top bar of the website, and we've got it. Oh no, we haven't. We've taken it down.
Iron.
Beautifully there for you. It turns off if I neglect it. I've bought that because I'm now paranoid about fires since the last one went kaboom. Yeah. So there. So if you spend £100, Myra, then you'll get £29 worth of scissors. My favourite bent scissors. Oh, they're awesome. And the reason that they're bent, I never told you why they're bent. Nobody asked. Didn't say. They're these ones that you'll have seen me use. So they're bent as in they go up like that, so that you can, when you are cutting out patterns and things like that, keep it on the table. So for dressmaking, perfect. I've done all of my plique cutting out with these because you want that long blade. They've just been fab. I heart them very much. Right. Oh, Lewis and Irene bundles, yeah, the Lewis and Irene Piggy Tails playmats. We've got 2 different colourways of that, although actually I'd put the 2 together and have just one great big, yeah. And what else have we got? Oh, we've got the Liberty. So the Liberty is all available by the ½ metre and in various kind of collections. There are 3 different colourway collections. That was a mash of all 3 colourways, plus some of the Wiltshire plains. And I say plains, they're not plains. They're not plains. Blenders, mixers, which we should do in a fat quarter bundle.
Yeah,
We'll do that. And then, and again, this is what happens. There happened to be some that were leant against the cupboard, and I was looking at them going, those ditsies, if I just rearrange a few. This was mid-Printergate, wasn't it, yesterday?
Yeah. Was it before or after the Printerman told you to calm down?
Calm down. No.
You were.
No, I was calm.
For him.
Yes. And then he rang me back this morning, and I did point out to him that I hadn't actually lost my SH exclamation T. We had a very honest conversation. Very honest.
Life advice.
I'd like to think that his wife will thank me. I'm not sure that's going to actually ever be the case.
Ever in the history of forever.
Never in the history has anyone ever calmed down by being told by a man to calm down. Never happened. Never happened. Let me tell you. Fun times. If you have calmed down by a gentleman telling you to calm down, please do let me know.
Not calm.
When you are not calm. Yeah. Wow. Do you know what? His wife must be really placid.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, well, she must be, because if he thought that was not calm,
I know.
then he must be dealing with, like, lying down.
We're paying for a service.
We are paying for. Oh, don't get me started, Gemma. We are paying for a service, and it was not. All of this. Anyway, in the midst of all of that, we have customers waiting for their fabulous fabrics. I pointed that out to him as well. And he told me that if I wanted to start at silly o'clock in the morning outside of office hours, then I wouldn't have any support. Breathe. We have now put things in place so it cannot happen again. Anyway.
If it helps.
With another company, yeah.
Lizzie Prangle says exceptional stitching.
Oh, Lizzie says exceptional stitching. Well, I mean, this... Thanks. Smoother. Lizzie, you're great. You should be in like the Peace Corps or something, or the Diplomatic Corps or something. I'm not there. I will never be there. Ask my mother. She knows. She's probably there biting her knuckles going, poor man, poor man. Huh? Oh, yeah. Do you know, I've just pressed those in completely the wrong way, having said, be careful to press them the right way, and then gone ahead and pressed them completely the wrong way. Oh, the joys. I'm just going to press them the other way. And it's only to help just nestle those things. You see, this is what happens behind the scenes. So, yeah, again, the knock-on effect is I'm afraid that your orders will be a couple of days late. We're going to blame the Printerman. Because can't print off your orders. If can't print off your orders, can't fulfill your orders. Anyway, enough of that, because that's like really boring stuff that you don't really need to know about. Unless, of course, you're waiting for an order. Anywho, yeah. So I should have then pressed this the wrong way. And, of course, I did press it the right way, but from the wrong end, I now realise. Concentration. It's funny, isn't it? Because my son, for his school report, was told that he got distracted easily and needed to be able to stay on task. I was like, ooh. Can't imagine where he gets that from. Right. I can hear you laughing, Gemma. I can hear you laughing. Stay on task. Not get distracted. Poor child. Does not stand a chance. What?
It's right. Elizabeth Crangle's come up with an alternative to swearing.
An alternative to swearing for me?
Yeah.
What?
Apparently, I think it's her brother. She says 4-foot snake.
Oh, 4-foot snake. Yeah.
Say that with some gusto. Yeah, really lovely.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like that.
The other one is, in fact, it's on a coaster on the bedside table. It's got a fox on it. Do you want to nip up and get it?
Yeah, okay. So Guy's got a T-shirt with a fox
Yeah,
on it.
with a for fox's sake on the bottom.
Yeah.
Until Freddie read it out the other day, I was like, oh no, we've reached that age where he can actually read.
My nephew read the T-shirt.
Yeah.
The worst part was when my old school teacher who lives next to
Oh,
me
your old
walked
school
round-
teacher was there. Perfect.
walked round and
Perfect.
stood there and said, oh, you've got one of those humorous T-shirts on, Guy.
Oh, we love a humorous T-shirt. Actually, your husband's got quite a collection of humorous T-shirts, hasn't he?
T-shirt.
Comedy T-shirts for every occasion. Yeah, Stephen won't wear them.
Aw.
He like-
Oh, and it says in big letters, I love my wife. And in the middle it says, after I love it says, it when my wife lets me watch the motor racing. So, yeah.
I don't know how much of that you can hear, by the way. We do need to get... Well, this is it. So, no. Margaret said we need to get Gemma mic'd so that Gemma's comments can be heard. However, there would be a lot of foxes and snakes. Maybe. Because she'd forget. Unless, if she was on camera, she'd be eminently professional. However, it's all good.
When I'm dealing with the back office stuff, needs for some
Basically inanimate objects, isn't it? Inanimate objects that do not work. Technology. That would be it. Our friend technology, there to make life easy. Yes, just remember that, Gemma. It's there to make life easy. Right, 4-foot snake. I like that, Elizabeth. We will be remembering that. These are now pinned together beautifully. Beautifully pinned together and on a slant across, going across that stitch as well, just so that I can get right up to there. Where is this? Is this all on the... my second belted quilting I ever did was a playmat with this ruler. Oh, Geraldine! Yay! There we go. There we go. I say fork and spoon instead of swearing in polite... oh. You see, you've got all the answers, you guys. This is why you lot are so good. Oh, hook and eye. I hated sewing on till I knew about blanket stitch. Oh. Lol. Came in at fat quarters, said Myra. Oh, there you go. Right. Would love a Liberty Wiltshire Shadow bundle. Okay, we'll sort that. We'll sort that. We'll sort that. Anything else? What? No man would tell me to calm down, would hit the roof and have to get peeled off in a week. Myra, I was so proud of myself because I did remain incredibly calm. What I did instead, and I don't know if you guys have ever done that, where you've been forced to remain calm, is to talk slower, slightly more quietly, with a slight patronising twang. Yeah, that's when you really know that you're in trouble. Not the shouty bit, you don't have to worry about the shouty bit. It's when I go quiet. Yeah. And I think my kids know that as well. Certainly when I was teaching, the kids always used to know that if I went quiet, ooh, there was trouble brewing. Not that that happened a lot for me, I have to say. I was, when I used to teach, I soon cottoned on to the fact that you only need, as long as you follow through with any threats that you make, I've probably told you this story before, then there's no issue. There really isn't an issue. And I'm sure I've told you the story before. So at the start of the term, I used to take in my old school books and show them my old school books and say, look, I'm not asking you to lay out your books any differently than I used to when I was your age. And they could have a look at my school books and I'd show them all of that. And then I would just casually throw into the conversation, and if you decide to draw any genitalia on your books, I will photocopy it and send it back home to your parents. At which stage this voice pipes up at the back of the class. Yeah, she does that. Sure as you like, I had absolutely photocopied this child's, I wouldn't say it was biologically correct drawing, and sent it home to his parents and said, this is what little Johnny thinks is appropriate for his maths lesson. Do you concur? Apparently they did not concur in any way. So after that, it really wasn't a problem. It's brilliant. It was very funny. It was very funny. The staff were horrified that I'd done it. I'm like, well, you know, it's all good. It's all good. But there we go. Fun times. Strangely enough, I'm not teaching anymore. Oh, there are only so many maths lessons and English lessons and everything else that a girl wants to teach. This is far more fun. Here we go. So, when you have pressed your seams, and look, they're matching beautifully. Actually, do you know what? One more on top of there, and you could do table runners, couldn't you? You could do rainbow table runners. It would look amazing. And then you want to add it onto here. I wonder if this is going to be another one of those shows where my mum said, oh, I didn't realise you used to do all of that. Might be. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Just make sure that you lay it. It's really easy to sew the wrong way round. Ask me how I know. And it's all good. Magnetic pincushions, just the best. Thank you very much. That's my tidying up done. I do love them. How many of you are now waiting for your magnetic pin dish with its organiser from our Friday newsletter? Are you all looking at your Friday newsletters? There's some cracking deals in there, by the way. We basically... I don't have any secrets from you lot. We basically walk around the warehouse and we go, right, what do we need? What do we need space for? What have we got coming in? What do we need space for? Where's it going to go? Right, let's put a cracking good deal on that for you. So it might not even be old stock. or anything like that. Haberdashery doesn't date, does it? So that's always a win. And that's about as tricky as that one gets. Right. What do we need? It's space, not its company. It's out the door. So you never know. It's always worth a look because you never know what we're going to put in there. I don't know half the time until I have a little wander round with Inga and see what we got. And it's amazing. So loads of you got the teacups last week. And that was, yeah, they're gorgeous. Actually, they look fabulous with Liberty as well, the EPP teacups. They've all gone now, so well done. And I've already started cutting your half metre heavens for this week. Ooh. Have you also seen the Tulip Pink backing fabric that we've got, the super wide 108? That's a bit gorgeous. And what else was there backing fabric wise? I'm not sure. If you are if you subscribed to the Sea Storm block of the month, then you want to keep an eye open for some information on the backing fabrics. You know the grunge 108s? You will get first dibs on those. They are in, so please do keep an eye open for an email telling you how to get hold of those. We've got 2 more bolts of those in. So in fact, I can probably show them, and then we did promise that we'd give the subscribers first dibs because they were bought with the Sea Storm quilt in mind. They're in the other room. I'll grab them in a minute. So I can show you those. So if you are a subscriber, like I say, SJ is sorting out an email for you just to let you know that they're in. And then when you've had a chance to grab them, then everybody else can have. But in the meantime, do take a look at the beautiful Tulip Pink 108s. When I say 108, that's 108 inches wide. It's really easy to throw these terms around because we're dealing with them every day. 108, that is about 270 centimetres wide. These are super duper wide backings, which means no piecing together of fabrics. And also means it will probably do a couple of your quilts actually as well at that width, unless you are indeed making super duper duper big ones. It's just lovely to have that option, and also beautiful for dressmaking with as well. Hurrah. Oh yes, check that out. How beautiful is that? Yeah. Oh, which do I send Captain Small in with? That one or this one? For her nap blanket. And it's up to you as well. So the Wiltshire also has a white on white, which is what I've done as a border for that one, which is really gorgeous, and it just frames it. I don't know if I'll bother with any kind of border with this one. I might just trim down the sides, and that's the only thing left to do. I'll just press that. I feel I've come off my soapbox now. We're all safe again. Calm down again. Calm down, dear. We're all good. Dee 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 dee. Here we go. Oh, I heart it very much. And then, all you're going to need to do is just tidy up these edges so you can, again, when you're trimming back, line up along the seam lines and then just dip into those little bits there. And then you can indeed start to square up this quilt. And then if you want to put sashing on it, you can. It's entirely up to you. I did with the other one, it was slightly smaller. Like I say, it really is entirely up to you. I think what I might do with this one is back it in fleece. Myra, I need to send you that dog fleece. I haven't forgotten. I just keep looking at it and not having your address to hand for dog beds. I did promise and I haven't forgotten. It's even come out. It's on the side with it labelled for Myra, for dog beds. I might just get some fleece and so yeah, if I am doing this with fleece, then what I will often do is just overlock, put my fleece face down, overlock around the outside, turn it through, and then just top stitch around the edge, and just do it as a really basic turn through quilt. And then I wouldn't put any wadding in if I use fleece like that. If it's just going to be a little cuddle blanket, then I wouldn't do that. At all. Here we go. Trim this back. Dink, dink, dink. And there it is. Your rainbow Liberty, aren't we posh, quilt. Someone had told me, like a few years ago, that I'd be making Liberty quilts for my own company. I'd be like, what now? Say what? But that's the reality of it. Jane said to me this morning, you ever actually stop and think how life has changed? I'm like, no, I don't have time. How cool is that? And how completely different to that one. But exactly the same ruler. That's what we love about it. Now, of course, if you are cutting yourself strips, and we can show that very, very quickly as well, then I'll just do it with 2. Then you would use your ruler to cut your strips. Right sides together, and then 1/4 of an inch sewn down the side, and then press away from each other. Do 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 do. Oh, I do love this machine. I don't know how much of a wait there is. I know lots of you had gone for it. I think everybody that's bought them now, those orders have been fulfilled. I know there ended up being a much longer wait than anybody anticipated for the NX7s, just because they were waiting for a few parts, because they wanted to send out, they wanted to send them out like new. So I know that with the NX7s, the parts took ages to come. So thank you for everybody that got one of those and waited. Here we go. I know it took a bit longer. Right, so we've now got that. And then, like we said, I always do this on a slant, like I say. You see this line here, you're going to line that up on your seam. And that's what's going to mean that everything will then happily meet later. So with the amount that I've got here, I can do a few. I'm going to make sure it's on that seam. Whoop. So I can't wiggle it quite because that one's not quite long enough. There we are. So then what you would do instead is spin them. You are going to have, you'd then sew your other in your opposite direction so that then when they come to be sewn together, there we go, you are going to have, oh, we've only got one going that way, haven't we? That's the silly thing about it. So that's, you'll have them going in opposite directions. You can then put them like so. And this is probably easier in a way because you can nest those seams like so. And then when you stitch it, stitch it, stitch it, stitch it. If you've got those seams nesting in the middle, oh, it's my mother-in-law, then it just, there we go. You've got that. So that's how you can lay them up, and you can do multiples of those. That's no problem at all. Yeah, but otherwise just have some fun with it. That's your ruler. That's the one. It is the double strip tumbler. This and this is what it's made. You might want to just grab yourself some piggies and do a piggy blanket like that. You never know. Or your cluck. It's up to you. It's all up to you. But that has been today's show. Jane, I don't know what Jane's got for us tomorrow. Can't miss it. Hang on. It's a block of the month tomorrow. It is, isn't it? It's Jane's block of the month tomorrow. That's what we've got tomorrow. So Jane's on with that tomorrow, and we've got all sorts of different backings and things for you tomorrow as well for your quilting. So do join us tomorrow. Thank you ever so much for bearing with me and letting me rant. You know, save space and all that. Low, I mean similar things. Yes. There's a, I used to use 4-foot snake. Yeah. Oh, fiddlesticks, that's another good one. I just swear then apologise for using technical terms. Amazing. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, bless you all. Thank you very much. Judy thought it was Wednesday, thought she'd lost a whole day with Jane. No, Jane just came on because I'm not going to take credit for stitching that Jane's done. You know, that's not okay. Morning all. My granddaughter once laughed. Oh, hang on. You know when I should really read a whole, this might be where I should have read the whole thing first before reading it out. My granddaughter once laughed as she did a fart. Nice. And coughed at the same time. And then it was born a new word. Try it. Yes. It's like when you sneeze and that happens. We call it a snarf in our house. It's all good fun. Morning, Ali. Oh, not another rubbish night's sleep. Oh dear. Right. Yeah, Claire uses the slow, quiet and slightly patronising tone very often. It's a good one. Yeah. There we go, you see? I've hit upon a good one. You all understand exactly where I'm coming from. Oh, a good hard stare like Paddington Bear. Absolutely. Oh, when he does it to Knuckles McGinty. Brilliant. Speaks volumes. My children, even in their 20s, know to be aware when I go quiet too. Tash, you are a star. Bet the parents hid the rest of the school year. Look, I would want to know what my kids were up to at school. I just assumed other parents would as well. Alrighty, you lot. There was a reason my nickname at school amongst the staff room was Zero Tolerance Tash, but it meant I could have a laugh with the kids because they behaved. It was great. Right. You lot, I'm going to go, otherwise you're going to get me laughing again. I've just placed an order, would like to add a magnetic dish. You can do that if you run your order through again, then just put a note on it, an SJ, or email SJ at info@natashamakes.com, and she will give you back, she'll adjust the postage for you and give you back anything that is owing. The wool one, though it is white, may not be quite so practical, Diane. You are so right. And yet it is so pretty. Love the rainbow. It's very striking. Yeah. Oh, Claire says, I love sending the boys into school with something I've made. Ryan loves his new book bag and he doesn't carry it with the shoulder strap. Oh, bless him. You're all great. You are all great. Right, otherwise I'm just going to stand through here and giggle at your messages, which is not the best TV, is it? So I will see you tomorrow with Jane. We will be here doing all sorts of stitchy-witchy things. Well, Jane will be, because it's Block of the Month. Take care. Thank you for your comments, love, support and fun. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.